Nothing quite sums up this series more than what you're seeing on screen right now. Jones, our main character, in bed, potentially romantically with a mechanoid, whilst there is a human egg at the foot of his bed, fertilized and ready to hatch in 4 days. Welcome to the Mechanoid Mastery Series, episode 6, and on today's episode, you guys in the comments voted, and I have listened. Gerald is going to be taken out of his sarcophagus, and Robert, Jones's son, is going to be made a Mechanator. I've thought about it, and Robert is going to have a very combat-focused Mechanoids, and I think we're going to give him whatever overpowered Mechanoids come out of the large mech gestator, and we're going to make him super powerful. I think it makes sense that within the story that we keep his ability to use violence. I think we have Robert as the exception. He's the only one that can have a gun, the only one that can use violence, and we give him just stupidly good armor, stupidly overpowered weapons. We make Robert the man he deserves to be and try to work out his story further on. I am also very much considering downloading a brainwashing mod to get rid of Cannibal. It's just overriding with so many mood issues, and I just don't want to have to deal with that, honestly. So if you enjoy any of today's episode, are excited to see Robert take on the role as a Mechanator, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it. And there we are, Robert. Congratulations. Oh, actually, Gerald keeps his head and everything. I thought that him installing the mech link would just take his head off. I don't know why. But Robert is now a Mechanator. Perfect. Let's put Jones back in here. I would still quite like to revive him at some point, you know? I think that's fair. And as suggested in the comments as well, the tunneler is now Mr. Krabs. I see it. I do see it. Like, it's got the claws and everything. Pretty cool. I've made the decision as well to replace all of the granite walls for the new crafting area into marble, just so we can get a crafting room set up and we can get fabrication on the go, and then we can focus on getting more components and everything so we can build more and more mechanoids. We are going to be summoning the War Queen this episode. I'm not sure when I'll be doing it. I think when I can at least craft Robert one mechanoid, at least one potentially. Something's happened, guys. I've just looked around and there's 23 fertilized human eggs. Why are there 23 human fertilized eggs? What am I going to do with 23? This is another 18! Oh no! Ah, there's 41 human eggs. Oh no! Oh, Robert, can you eat these? I can't have 43 babies. What am I meant to do with 43 human eggs? Fertilized. Game? And where have they come from? I can't. What do I do? Am I morally obligated to look after 41 children? I mean, I guess I am. You know, we are monks. Like, we'd look after the children, raise them as our own. Should I just leave them in the research area? Human egg. Fertilized. Ugh. Human egg. I don't like that I've now have 2 different lots of human eggs in my stockpiles. That does make me a little bit uneasy, but I've now decided I'm going to queue up mechanical insight. So this will allow us access to all the droids and all the androids that we need, so we can get, like, basically more colonists, but they're robots. It's okay. This is the start of a small project that I have in mind that's going to make things run, hopefully, very efficiently. And Robert is now finally gestating the first large mechanoid. The Marshal has been queued up. Robert, I'm going to turn you into the scariest colonist you've ever seen. 100%. And there we are, the moment we've all been waiting for. The egg is at 100% hatch egg progression. Hatches in 0 days. What's happened? Oh, perfect. We've just got an error code. Wonderful. What? Maybe I did something incorrectly. Well, that's a real shame that we didn't get a human out of that egg. Actually, you know what? I'm glad I didn't get a human out of that egg, because now we have another 41 chances to get more humans. Oh, God. A terror bird has decided to hunt Robbie for food. That's not a terror bird. That's just lost terrain. Robbie, you have 2 Minotaurs. Maybe they can defend you. Maybe they can. Maybe they won't, because they're just Minotaurs. Robbie, go hide inside. Yeah, the Minotaurs have died. Oops. Ah, Falcon 6. Oh, the Terror Bird's going to kill all my Mechanoids. Please. My Mechanoids. I can't have them all die. Not all of them. That's not fair. I've now, unfortunately, have to strip mine the mountain. I didn't want to do this for aesthetics for reasons, which isn't really a good reason. We're now totally out of components. I can't build anything. I have an assembly bench queued up so we can make more components, but we can't make components because we have no components. We're in a vicious cycle at the moment, so I can't make any more Mechanoids, so we can't summon the War Queen. So I am resorting to strip mining up the mountain. Thankfully, we have old Mr. Krabs over here, who's doing a very good job at what he does. We're very lucky that we have a slave ship coming overhead so we can actually buy ourselves some components, which will completely alleviate all the issues I've just mentioned, he said. Do you have anybody of the same ideology of us? I don't think you do. Just a lot of pig people. A lot of pig people. We've now finished mechanical insight. So this is the first step in order for us to get tier 1 androids. I'm going to queue up tier 1 androids and utility biomimetics. I'm only not going to craft these things until we defeat the War Queen. We'll do one step at a time. But I've got big plans for these androids. I've got big plans. Now, our assembly bench is complete, so we can now actually make large amounts of components. Very nice. That's what we absolutely love to see. I'm going to make it so we have like 50 at all times. That's a pretty good amount, I'd say. Quest active. Beggars wish for aid. Travelers are begging for 28 penoxycyllin. Fugly and Mitch. Who's named you Fugly, my friend? Why are you called Fugly? You're a dunce and you're a martial artist. You're only a teenager as well, but you're still called Fugly. That's a pretty unfortunate name for you to have. Violet Fugly Perkins. There's nothing I can do about this. I have no penoxycyllin, so I mean, you're just going to have to like suffer, I guess. There we go. We have now doubled the amount of mech band extenders just so we can get more and more mechanoids for our people and more of the big ones. So everyone should now be able to have 8, apart from Bobber and Robert for some reason. But yeah, everyone else has got a decent amount of mechanoids for them to have, so we can start expanding them out again even further. I've got both the large mech gestators full, so let's maybe build a couple more falcons and get them distributed out fairly, because the falcons are very powerful. There you go. So there's 2 more falcons on the go, both of those for Robbie. So we now have 2 marshals on the go, 2 falcons. Will we be ready to fight the War Queen at the end of this episode? I got no idea. But we now also have a drop pod redirected, progress to guaranteed 5. So does somebody have to sit at this? Yeah, so someone has to sit at this like a ground penetrating scanner, so then we can then get the drop pod. Okay, so that's something that we'll probably end up doing very, very late game, I'd imagine. There we go. We have now finished our brand new crafting area, and as you can already see, we have a fabrication room set up and ready to go. So what can we use the fabrication bench for? Making bionics, making components, obviously. Can we make anything that allows us to do more with mechanoids? Not yet, apparently. But I definitely feel like this is something we'll eventually get to, that's for sure. Gestation complete for the marshal as well. Robert, show me your new weapon. Show it to me. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look how cool that is. Wow. Why do all the expensive mechanoids so expensive? But they're so cool as well. Look at him. Nice. Well, that's obviously a melee one to follow Robert around. 2 of those, and he's just going to be impossible to touch. Ooh, but with the machining table, we can make an air wire headset. And this gives us a +3 mech bandwidth. Wow. Okay, but this one gives 6. This one gives 9. Holy! Mech control group +1. Interesting. Nice. Right, so we want to be building like 5 of these mech bandwidth packs. +9 bandwidth is insane. We can get like everybody kitted out like really well. This is definitely a big thing for us to get. Anything else for us to get in here? A mech commander helmet. +6. Oh, we need signal chips. Ooh, those want 2 signal chips. And we get those by defeating the Diabolus. That's why they're so good. Interesting. Right, so what we can do in the meantime, instead of getting those, is the array headsets is +6, because those don't actually require us to have any signal chips. So we need to also defeat the Diabolus like quite a few more times as well. I like that. That's nice. Space battles undergoing as well. Several massive spaceships have engaged in combat. Obviously, as the rules state, we will not be picking up any of these colonists that drop down unless they're of our ideology. I mean, We will take all the free components though, that's for sure. Oh, we can actually make signal chips as well. I hadn't realized this as well. I kind of thought the subcore encoder literally just did subcores, not signal chips. So we can make them with a basic subcore, 25 plasteel, 5 uranium, 2 components. That one's not bad either. That's not... This is a lot cheaper than I expected. Why are Mechanoids not used more often in Rimworld? They're really powerful. The space battle has ended. None of these people that have dropped down are of our ideology, so we will not be picking any of them up. I've now queued up Jones as well to be creating one of my end goal Mechanoids so far, the Behemoth. I can't believe we can already make a Behemoth. This thing is going to be crazy good. 2 days. It's going to take 8 days to get the Behemoth. Mad. Oh, and Robert has crafted the first array headset. Look how cool he is. He's so cool, his eyebrows go through it. So he now has 13 mechs that he can control. 13! Oh no. I feel like this is a really slippery slope to becoming really, really powerful unnecessarily quickly. And I'm here for it. Absolutely here for it. And tier 1 androids have been completed. So they can't really do much from what I understand. But what they can do is just a lot of stone cutting, I'd imagine. I'd imagine they'll do a lot of stone cutting, a lot of mining, and a lot of hauling for us, whilst also being able to do just like general jobs as well. I don't think I'm going to ever use them in combat, but the potential is there. So how do we make them? Is there a bench for them? So we have a charging pod and a mechanical assembly casket. So I assume what I can do is have a specific room here for androids. So we've got our fabrication area, we have our android room here, getting all nice and set out neatly. That's what we like. There we go. So we can make a tier 1 android with 80 steel, 40 plasteel, 10 gold, 10 components, and 1 advanced components. So we kind of need to get advanced fabrication first before we can really go into the android tiers. So that's what we'll be queuing up after utility biomimetics. So advanced fabrication. There we are. All of our colonists now have the mech bands on their head. And I love the way that all the eyebrows come through. It's so dramatic. So now everybody can either control 13 or 14 mechanoids. And with having 5 people, that's roughly 70 mechanoids that we can have at one time. Which is an obscene amount. Like an absolutely ridiculous amount. Oh, if we could specialize so many things. Do we even need the androids? We do need the androids because I haven't found a mechanoid that can do stone cutting yet, and I really want some stone cutting. And we also don't have any means of like doing much else. I want to have it so it's the androids that do all the farming, the actual stuff around the base, and have the mechanoids for combat, because it's far more interesting having the mechanoids be able to do combat rather than just hauling, which is a bit boring. Bobber is now making the first bandwidth pack. So this will raise everybody's mech bandwidth, like ridiculously. I can't believe how good this is. Bobber, can you just finish? There's one work left. One work left and you just couldn't be bothered? Bobber. Look at it. Look at that mech bandwidth pack. Insane. Let's add it everybody to be able to have one as well. I feel like it's only appropriate to give it to Robert as well. Robert deserves to have the bandwidth pack as well. Robert, come here. Come here, Robert. Look at him. He's got like little antennas on his back. So cool. So he can now have 22 mechs. 22. Robert, claim your second marshal. Robert is just so cool now. Like, he has these 2 marshals that protect him at all times. He's just too impressive. Like, he's just so cool. Robert has now successfully built Robbie a bionic tongue. So now Robbie will hopefully, as long as the surgery goes well, be able to talk again. Repair mandible. 10 plasteel. That's not what it's not what I wanted to do particularly. So Robbie, operation, install tongue. Okay, so maybe we can't actually repair the tongue because he doesn't have a jaw, but we can apparently repair his mandibles with 10 plasteel and 2 medicine. So I guess we do that. Just do it on the floor in the basic bed. Yeah, I'm sure this surgery will be absolutely fine with no issues whatsoever. And it wasn't. Oh, he's just fixed. Oh, just fixed him. Oh, that's perfect. Wow. Okay, I didn't expect that at all. Nice. I've now queued up an extra building on the side here. This is going to be our little drugs lab. As I said earlier in the series, I wanted our economy to be slightly more narcotic based. So this is going to be our little drug lab. It's connected up to the kitchen where we're going to have all of the drugs and stuff kept on ice so we can keep it all fresh. And obviously near the garden as well, so it all kind of connects up nicely. So I think now is the time to summon the War Queen. We've just been gestating mechs long and hard now. We've got our people up to a stupid amount of mechanoids. Robert, you summon the War Queen. 1 War Queen, 5 pikemen, 2 scythers. This should be okay. We should be all right. We're not going to have the behemoth, which is kind of a shame. But I'm confident. I'm quietly confident. And the War Queen has been summoned. I tried to buy your mech band signals. An ultra heavy mech from the Sinler mech hive will arrive soon. Be prepared. Robert looks prepared, if I'm honest. He looks pretty prepared down there. He's got a lot of mechs. So hopefully it will kind of like land down here, which would be nice. So we can at least prepare our people when it arrives. And the War Queen has arrived. It has a built-in gestator and is capable of deploying war urchin mech combat mechs. Oh, and you've landed in the center of my base. Perfect. Fantastic. Robbie only has working mechs, so I'm going to send Robbie up to the safe room. Everybody else, come into the safe room. Just go into the safe room. You'll be fine. You are all immediately being beefed with. Falcons, can you like form up? Marshals, attack the War Queen, please. That would be perfect. Robert, get inside. Robert's inside. Perfect. Everyone else is kind of on their way, but slowly. How is the War Queen? The War Queen is hefty. The War Urchins are probably not too hefty. Some of the rest of the Falcons to get down here, honestly. Nice. Everybody's here. They're all here. Everybody's in the safe room, so they're going to be fine. All the Mechanoids are here. There's a Minotaur here charging. He's just chilling. He's thinking, I'm a bit tired. Nah, I'm not going to come help you. I'm not going to help. The Marshals have been super helpful, though. I don't think the War Queen can gestate whilst the Marshals are beating it. And they're taking an absolute beating at the moment. Yeah, there's just too much gunfire. They can't do anything. 1 Marshal has gone down here. And the War Queen is defeated. The hostile War Queen has been defeated and dropped a power focus chip. You can study the power focus chip by selecting the Mechanator and right-clicking the chip. Studying a power focus chip helps us unlock high tiers of mech tech research. The chip can also be used to create more advanced Mechanoids. Perfect. So now it looks like we pretty much only have just a couple other things left, and that is it. Yeah, it's just a pikeman. It's done. It is done. The War Queen has been defeated. It wasn't very difficult, honestly. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be absolutely obliterated by the War Queen. But I wasn't. I guess the sheer numbers of my Mechanoids and having the Marshals here as well probably was pretty handy. So on that note, we're going to call things here with a successful War Queen raid. And might I say, Robert, you are the most powerful colonist I think I'm actually going to ever have in Rimworld. The Mechanoids are too good. I didn't think they were going to be this powerful. So next episode, I think the plan next episode will be to research high mech tech, and we start on the androids. We need to get the androids so we can finish the hotel. So we're going to go into androids next season, and I'm going to reveal my little plan for how I'm going to be using them then. So if you have enjoyed today's episode and are excited to see how the series goes from now on, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.